This video covers the IGCSE Biology Objective 10.1.3b on the 2025 CAIE syllabus to state how a pathogen is transmitted indirectly. So we're going to take a look at the other three examples of disease transmission, that is contamination, airborne, and vectors. So we'll first tackle contaminated food and water. So this basically involves the ingestion of pathogens growing on or in the food or the water source that is available. Some examples are things like your typical food poisoning, which is caused by bacteria, cholera, typhoid, and amoebic dysentery. They're pictured in that little animation as an amoeba. And so that can cause severe issues if ingested in food. The second type of transmission, indirect transmission, is via contaminated surfaces. This is where the transfer of a pathogen from an inorganic surface into the body. So the major example here is tetanus, where we have bacteria living with the rust on a rusty metal object, and that causes tetanus, the disease, which can be deadly if not treated properly. Then we have airborne transmission. This is the transfer of pathogens by coughing or sneezing. Examples of this type of transmission are tuberculosis, which is pictured in the X-ray there, COVID, influenza, and anthrax. So these all would be like respiratory type of diseases. You can see the lung on the left is clear versus the lung on the right, which has patches of white, which is showing a lung that has had tuberculosis. And then we have animal vectors. Animal vectors are intermediate organisms that transfer the pathogen without developing disease symptoms themselves. There are many different types. Some of the more common examples are things like malaria, yellow fever, and Zika, which all have an insect vector that will bite an individual who has whichever disease it is, and then they will fly to a different person and bite them and inject them with now the disease-causing organism itself, whereas the insect does not develop the disease at all. So they're transferring the pathogen.